Hey guys, this is episode 13. We're going to be talking about this Katie Sackhoff Netflix film I saw called 2036 Origins Unknown. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I really put out a tweet saying to avoid this film. So I thought I'd do a House of Rep podcast with Pri about this because we both watched this film, and I have to say that I was really not impressed by this movie. So yeah, just stay tuned and listen to the podcast. It's going to be fun. Okay, so I'm going to welcome my guest Pri. Hey Pri, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, hi everyone.
All right, so we're going to be talking about 2036 Origins Unknown. This is a film that has been released on Netflix. It's a science fiction movie. Now, when I first saw the cover and I saw that Katie Sackhoff was starring in this, she's one of my favorite actresses. She starred in Battlestar Galactica and the recent Riddick film. She's a very good actress. She has a lot of range, great talent. I'd love to work with her one day. So, a gentleman called Hasraf Dulil directed this movie. He has a background in visual effects, and granted, the film had great visual effects. It had this really good opening, but there's really not much else that this film has going for it. It was made in 2018, and I was surprised because it felt like it was a newer film than that. I thought it was a lot newer. I hadn't really heard of it before I saw it in this on Netflix. And Pre, tell me what you thought about this film. Like, what are your initial thoughts of it?
Hashtag do not watch.
Hashtag do not watch.
I
Well,
mean, when I saw the ad, when Netflix was, giving like top, it was trending in top 10,
I know it
isn't
was
it?
like the top
And
number six or something. We thought it would be
yeah, it was
something
top
hot.
10. We thought it was going to be a wicked one, yeah.
Mm,
And obviously, I wanted to see something different from Smallville. Okay, by the way, we've been watching Smallville for the past 10 years. I'm just kidding, for the during this lockdown. So I wanted to
Smallville's
watch.
dope.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's really nice. By the way, we're going to talk about it later in the
Hmm.
next one.
Yeah. Yeah. Future
So
podcast.
when we wanted to see something different, the sci-fi, and we found the sci-fi, and we were like, oh, we need to try this out. And when we started watching, the initial introduction, with the casting part, the initial part when it was like
The
opening,
title sequence,
yeah,
yeah.
that was really nice.
Very beautifully
It was
shot.
it was really nice, and also watching, in a really nice projector, it was like, wow, we're gonna be
Mm.
watching a really great movie. But the but comes in.
Exactly.
In less than 10 minutes, I told you
Yeah.
it's boring.
You just got so bored,
I
right?
was really bored, guys, like
Yeah.
literally really bored. But as always, Ray had the patience. He was like, it's gonna be a wicked one. Let's continue. And I was
Mm.
like, no.
Yeah, I was
Why
really
did you
hoping.
why did you want to continue
Well,
it?
first of all, I thought that it would be a really sick film with like some good plot twists. Or I actually thought in my mind of a completely different film, which I'm gonna end up making, than what this film was. I thought this was gonna be like, okay, the ship crashed, the crew disappeared, the original person who was in charge of the launch director, doesn't want to let it go because her father is part of it. And then I thought she was going to piece together why it happened, and either it's a conspiracy to do with the drive and the company behind the launch, and she was going to discover that, or she was going to discover that they had been like captured by aliens or something, and then she would go on a mission with the kind of robot to free them. So that's what I would have done. Instead, what we got
It was
was,
the AI.
yeah, what we got was the dumbest, stupid kind of existential kind of sort of like bootlicking. Let me try and kiss up to Kubrick. Let me try and do my own 2001 film. It has way too much of that existential bullshit. Like, this is gonna have a spoiler tag on it. If you haven't watched the film, don't bother watching it. But basically, what they're trying to say is that Katie Sackhoff killed the human race, and she's a synth, and the AI rebuilt humanity, and they're taking her to a place where all consciousness exists.
To kill.
It was very stupid. Like basically, like the Mars mission, the first half of the movie is one thing, and then the second half of the movie is a completely different film. So there's two muddled ideas that are kind of stuck together in a very poor way. And so it's also with this investigatory kind of thing, and then it descends into this kind of existential bullshit about where humanity is going and human consciousness and stuff like that, and whether or not the human condition can survive beyond its biological and self-destructive tendencies. So it's an admirable idea that we would create AI and then some alien entity would increase AI's potential exponentially, and then the human race end up kind of killing themselves. And they were talking about Turing tests and other things like this. This was really weird. Like visually, this film's great. Katie Sackhoff acts crazy well in it. She kind of tries to hold this shit script together, and then a lot of the stuff like the cinematography, the editing, the like the elements of it, like the production design of the AI, were great. But it's way too much treading on old stuff that Kubrick had already done in 2001. So this film was basically gonna like the way I guess this Hisroff like sort of pitched this movie was that I want to make my own 2001 type of movie, and everybody kind of came behind it. This is the thing that I didn't agree with. This guy's a visual effects expert, so he's coming from that kind of a background. From a storytelling background, he doesn't have the creativity. Like, I come from a storytelling background, and I'm a very visual and kinetic director, and I don't rely too much on visual effects. I try to make the story great and then add visual effects as a tool. And when you've got like you got someone who's mostly a visual effect person coming into a film. He was looking at the film from that kind of point of view. Let me make all the visual effects look great. So the opening sequence, the launch, the graphics, the CGI, the production design of all the kind of characters and ships and stuff are great. But the nuances and the character, action and the way the actors are all working with each other was terrible.
I mean, this is where I want to add the flow of the movie
Mm,
wasn't there.
mm,
I mean, why they have to shoot down a Chinese satellite,
mm,
and what was the connection with that with RT? And the
mm-hmm.
cube teleports to Antarctica.
Mm.
I mean, do you feel there's like a gap? There's not a proper flow of the movie. It's like jumping from one plot to another plot.
Exactly. This is the thing. You nailed it right on the head, Pri. Like basically, it's two different storylines jammed together. It's like it's almost as though Hasraf or the producers were like, "Look, we've only got so much money. Let's just make a two films in one and try to kind of like tap into so many different kinds of people's like interests and stuff." So what they wanted to try and do is capture the old school kind of 2001 space opera kind of epic visuals kind of style of that movie, and then also have this detective traditional kind of sci-fi Battlestar Galactica style stuff that Katie has come from, that kind of popcorn sci-fi. What they should have really done is that you should have had this monolithic cube be of alien origin, which they confirmed, but the reveal it as though she's inside it the whole time, and that's the connection is very strange. The payoff is not as good as the build up, and there's just a lot of pieces and a lot of things missing from the actual film itself. So this is like quite a bit of a train wreck. I really don't like this movie at all. I know I could have done a lot better. If given the opportunity to make something like this, it would have been really good. Katie Sackhoff's an amazing actress. I definitely want to work with her and some of the cast that worked on this movie. I think Hasraf uh, visually made the film very, very, very good. But when it came to actually, getting performances and getting, like a story line right, like, the way it's been written is not good. Like Gary Hall and him just
The script is bad. That's
yeah,
the.
that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, it was so boring. It was like dragging on so bad.
I
This is
told you in 10 minutes I was
this is
bored.
probably the worst film I've seen of this year, even though it's a 2018 film. I mean, I can't believe it was trending so high on Netflix. I was like, what are people doing watching this movie, I think everybody watched it and pretty much realized that they just watched something that was a total piece of crap, and they want their time back, because that's kind of like what I feel. I feel slightly cheated by this film. Like, I invested in it and thought, wow, okay, I'm gonna see some, like a great space film about a woman who basically couldn't let go of a mistake that happened. She wanted to try and find some kind of a personal journey to, like, sort of liberate herself, exonerate herself from being at fault about this launch and losing her father. And suddenly the whole human race is destroyed. How that would be possible is stupid, because, like, there wouldn't be one system to control these missiles. There would be like countermeasures to stop these missiles from hitting everything. Like, as soon as there would be a launch, people would find out about it. So there are a lot of stupid things that happen in this film. A lot of
I
stupid
mean,
things.
two things which was good. I mean, I like the fact with the Turing test. I mean, they're
Mm,
trying to bring that in, yeah. And
mm.
I like RT, yeah, the artificial intelligence,
He looked cool.
yeah, I like
Mm,
it. I like that. Yeah, just two things, by the way.
mm,
Two things that I like.
mm.
RT was great. I mean, the way the connection with human being and artificial intelligence, that was great. Turing test was like, and I like the fact they're bringing in, but the storyline was shit. Sorry to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not appealing. It's not entertaining. It's not what we want to watch. It's something like, if you want to bring in something to the people, to the audience, you need to make it appealing. You need to make the right script, the right storyline, the right kind of a movie. But it
Yeah,
wasn't there.
yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
don't.
there's
I'm
films
just.
that I'm working on that are like this. They're like, about, humanity's journey into space, and whether or not there's intelligent life out there and other things like that. But I'm not sure I'll ever go that kind of weird with it. Like, this is very kind of existential, and it's a strange film. I just find it very unappealing. Like, I would never watch it again. It has no repeat
I
value.
mean, look at the poster. It's nice, yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
when you actually, they know how to attract. But when you actually watch the movie, nothing, nothing, no storyline is there. It's like, it's not good.
Exactly, and that's how they brought me into it, because I thought, yo, what, this has got um Katie Sackhoff on it. She's boss at Starbucks. She's a great actress, badass. She was coming off of Riddick. I thought this was gonna be just like a wicked solo vehicle for her to shine. And she did a great job acting wise, but everything else just kind of is crap in the movie. So yeah, let me just Pri, you wanted to talk more about this movie? Like, what else do you think about
I said at the beginning, hashtag do not watch.
it? So just give me your ring, and it will wrap up this podcast.
uh, I don't want to be that bad. I'll
So how
just
many
say
shields are you gonna give it?
one.
One shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it zero shields. It's like one of the worst, like, pieces of crap I've ever seen in cinema history right now. I'm just so disappointed with this film. Like, if I get a budget, I feel like I'm just gonna create another version of this film from scratch. I'll just buy Hassaf's script and Gary's script and just remake it to what it should have looked like, or what should have been, or I'll just make a completely different film that is better than this.
But whoever accepted this movie script,
Hmm.
did they not read it?
I think I
Sorry.
think I think they read I
Sorry.
think they read it, and what they were trying to do is do a 2001 Space Odyssey thing, like Stanley Kubrick. They were trying to capture that. They wanted to kind of recreate that because they're probably huge fans of that film. I lean more towards the kind of Star Trek, Star Wars, kind of like what I call bent science films, where they're not scientifically accurate. Where you got laser swords and kind of weird shit. But I love the adventure, so I like swashbuckling in space. But I also do like NASA, and I do like space exploration. So that's why I really
I
like.
love all the galaxy I've told you before
Yeah,
in the past,
so
and it was nice.
yeah, so I love celestial things, and I'm just like Pri. We both have a fondness for astronomy and space in general.
And that's why we chose this movie together to watch it, but it did not reach our
This is the
expectation.
thing. This is
So,
this is the thing. That there have been worst Smallville episodes, like the really crap episodes of Smallville. Like, Smallville's got some really donkey episodes that are better than even this entire film. You know, so that's
I
how
think
bad
we
this movie
wasted our
is.
time diverting from Smallville to watch this movie. We should
Yeah,
have watched Smallville. And why, by the way, Smallville is one of the most wicked, amazing series. We're gonna talk about this more
we will. We'll
in
be
the
talking about
future.
like each season and each episode because I've watched this series for like years. Like, it really helped me a lot. And from a writing perspective, and also when I was like really depressed, the show was really cool. And I really love the cast of the show. I love the production design. Alfred Gow and Miles Miller, they did a great job on this. Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling, Kristen Crew. If you ever listen to my podcast, I'd love to work with you guys. You guys are so awesome. Ali Mack's great. It's sad what happened to her and that cult stuff,
We're
and
gonna talk
things. But
about
we'll
it
be talking about all that
in the next one.
in the next one. But this movie, Trainwreck, so it gets an aggregated 0. It's got one of the lowest ratings on the House of Rep.
Wow.
And like I hope I don't want to deter Hasselhoff from directing, but at the same time he needs to look at like what he's doing as a filmmaker, what he wants to actually say. He should try to do stuff that's original, not try to be doing too many throwbacks to this kind of stuff. If I'm gonna do a sequel to something, it's gonna be a sequel that takes something in a new direction, but also kind of pays respect to the original content. And I know he was trying to do a homage to 2001, but a lot of people have done that and they haven't done it right. And he tried, but the script just wasn't up to scratch, and it just doesn't seem right. It feels very weird. There's really not much else to say other than like good luck to them and what they want to do in the future. But these kind of films, when they're financed and, I'm here trying to do my stuff, it gets kind of frustrating because you guys can see I've got a lot of passion for this stuff and I love film like so much. Like I'm one of those guys that can do a big Hollywood film or a small indie film. It's just a matter of people seeing what the Rep Knights can do, what me and my team can do, and hopefully when you guys do see that in a little while, we've got a few great things cooking, you'll see what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make it so that when you guys go to the cinema, you pay for that ticket or you pay for something on VOD, you're getting entertained. You're getting away from this stuff. Like the world is a beautiful place, but it also can be a dark place. And the Rep Knights are here as a light in the world to try and basically, give you a beacon of hope and give you entertainment and enjoyment in your lives, and we want to do that.
We're just waiting for that one chance to show you the difference,
Yeah.
and you will not regret it,
Yeah,
right?
and we won't give up. Like I have had situations where I've been really close, like with different kinds of studios and things, and I've worked with some people. So I've been around in the business for a while now, but it just hasn't been right. So that's the reason why I'm still at this indie level because we're just fiercely indie. We just love to do our own thing. We want to stay in control of a lot of our properties and stuff, but this doesn't mean that we don't want to work with Fox or Disney or the big guys. I would love to work with them on stuff that they want to do, and then with that, with the resources I gain from that, and make my own stuff. So it's a win-win situation. So like people like Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, Lucas, Matthew Vaughn, these kind of guys, Ridley Scott, Michael Bay, someone I'd really love to mentor under, or John Favreau. These guys are amazing filmmakers, amazing producers and directors. These are the guys that I want to shadow. These are the guys that I want to see, and hopefully I will. I'm Ray Janjua, and I am one of the best filmmakers and sort of like unspoken or unheard, sorry, I would say unheard voices in the film business. And soon you guys will see the magic. You will see the magic of the Rep Knights.
He has the original creativity, talented person that I've ever met. And I'm not just saying it. You need to see it. You need to watch it. Will definitely make the difference. He's gonna make the difference. And when you see it, you will know it.
Well, thank you very much for that, Pri. And I want to thank you for being my guest on this show. I love you a lot. And this is Ray and P, RNP, signing off on this episode of House of Rep. This is episode 13.
Bye guys.
All right, guys, stay safe, take care.